Stay happy, stay healthy, keep it real.
Hello and welcome to UK Natural Health. My name is Gurdeep and I'm joined by Jess from Gathering of Minds, and today we have a really interesting guest on the show, don't we, Jess?
Yes, we do. We have Tete Munalula. She was diagnosed on the 19th of October last year with poly-cystic ovaries and endometriosis. Both her left and right ovaries had polycystic sacs with cysts 5 and 6 centimetres large. Her right ovary had quite a dangerous cyst on it because it was having blood feed into it, so they told her that to operate would be very dangerous. Because of all this, obviously she had low mood, constipation, fatigue, a lot of pain, and obviously this was quite a severe situation for somebody to be in their 20s to face with the possibilities of never having children. So Tete actually did some research and actually ended up curing herself naturally, and she did this within months.
Wow, that's really, really inspiring. So let's speak to Tete.
Stay happy, stay healthy, keep it real.
Hello there, Tete, and thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
Okay, I'm good.
Yes. So, how did you feel when you first found out you had endometriosis?
Well, basically, I just felt like the first thing I thought was I'm not going to have a baby, or it's going to be hard for me to conceive. Those were the first thoughts, and I just felt, I felt really down and depressed. And it's quite a big thing for someone to tell you that it could be hard for you to have children, because the first thing you think is I might be one of those people that are just not going to have children. So it was just it wasn't a very nice feeling, and I was just feeling it, and I just didn't know what to do, to be honest. And I felt very negative when and very depressed. And then I started speaking to a few of my friends, and I started researching a bit more about it, and I decided to do something about it.
So there you were. You had this horrendous news that you were potentially never going to be able to conceive children. That must have been quite distressing in itself. I mean, to be faced with that. Did you feel? Did it make you determined to find out a cure, or were you sort of going along with the prognosis of the doctors at that moment?
Well, to be honest, when I first found out, I had to make sure that what they were saying about my ovulation, and I had tests to see if I was ovulating, and it showed that I wasn't. My ovulation number was very low. It was like something like 3 or 2. So at first I kind of accepted it, and I started thinking about adopting. I started thinking maybe I'm just going to have to options into having children. And then as I started speaking to some people, and obviously I started my course at the College of Naturopathic Medicine in London, I started reading up about ways of dealing with PCOS and endometriosis and understanding it. And when I started food and about it's like a holistic thing about food, stress, so many things can play a part. And I started to think.
We can move on to that in a second, but I just wanted to know at that stage what did the doctors tell you to do? Well, what was the doctor's advice?
Oh, they can have I can have an operation.
They said that you could have an operation.
And did you go ahead with it?
No, I didn't go ahead with the operation. At first, I would have to have an operation to remove them, but they said they can probably grow. They'll probably grow back. And with the endometriosis, because it was a hemorrhagic cyst, I bled into it. They said they like that. But the endometriosis, they said that was like I had to just still, because it was hemorrhagic, and they couldn't operate on that because it's a dangerous operation. But with PCOS, they said they would be able to just remove them, but they'll probably grow back again. So that would.
So what did you do next after you found out this information and you started to research on the holistic approach?
Well, it was funny because when I was in college, I just went to the reception. Well, I've got to go to the doctor to go and find out when I'm going to have, what they're going to do with my polycystic ovary syndrome. And she said to me, well, why don't you just put yourself into the clinic? And because so many of, the students have polycystic ovary syndrome and endometriosis, and they cured it. And I couldn't believe what she said, to be honest. I just didn't really understand it. I was like, how could you cure it naturally without having an operation?
What did she say to you when you said that? What was her answer when she explained how it worked?
She answer because she was a receptionist, but she was very relaxed about it. And she was like, yeah, you can just do it naturally. Just go and see somebody at the herbal clinic, it's the naturopathic clinic. And I was really surprised. And I said, can that actually happen? She was like, yeah, you can cure a lot of things naturally. So when she said that, I went and emailed a friend, and I started doing my research, and I started finding out about the Paleolithic diet and how there's a website online that I saw a lot of women, you know, that have polycystic ovary syndrome and endometriosis follow the Paleolithic diet. And as I started to do my research, I realised I've read so many stories, so I don't have to actually have an operation. And I've read some stories that women were able to conceive. That gave me a bit of hope, because my main problem was just thinking that I'd never be able to have, as a woman, be able to have a child. So I think after about 2 days, I started to relax a bit more. I tried to stress less and thought, right, I'm going to do this naturally.
Fantastic, that's amazing. What did your family say when you? Well, I mean, obviously the doctors wanted to operate, and no doubt they were offering you a lot of medication at that time. What did your family say when you said that you were actually going to try and do this the natural way? Did they support you? Were they concerned?
Yeah, no, they were really supportive of me. They were like, my mum was just concerned, obviously, because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to have a child. But one of her friends actually went to see a Chinese herbal medicine woman, and basically she was told that she couldn't have kids, and now she's got 2 kids. And my mum said to me, you know, you go the natural way. It might take longer, but you know, it's not going to be overnight. Like, you know, you can have an operation the sort of conventional way, and your cyst will go away, and they could grow back, or you could do it the natural way.
But
this takes time.
This is the thing. It's like you're hitting the nail on the head there, Tete, because you know you can have an operation, but it's coming back because why? They're treating the symptom. Exactly. They're not treating the actual cause. They're treating the symptom. And when they prescribe us these medicines, and when they cut us open and stuff, they're actually just treating the symptom. So therefore, the symptoms will reappear because they haven't actually got to the root cause. And I think this is the good thing about natural. When you go down the natural route, you're actually getting to the actual cause of the deficiency or something. Yeah. So there you were. You embarked on this naturopathic journey. So what was the next step then?
Well, I put myself into the clinic, and basically, to be honest, she first, when I had the consultation and she first told me the things that I should take, I thought to myself, how does that relate to my polycystic ovary syndrome? Because I told her that I was on antibiotics a lot the year before. I'd misused, antibiotics, painkillers, NSAIDs, the lot. And she said to me, she put me on a probiotic to sort of heal my gut lining. And I just did not understand how my gut had anything to do with polycystic ovary, but I just went along with it anyway. And she also told me to take a high dose of magnesium to help balance my hormones, and she also told me to take a fish oil. Now, for me, at first I couldn't understand this at all, but I took it, and literally within about 2-3 weeks, my hormones just totally balanced. Because before I was having hot and cold sweat, it was very embarrassing. I'd have to take deodorant, have to spray it 2 or 3 times a day. It was like my hormones were all over the place. But as I started taking the supplements that she recommended me, everything just went into place. And she told me to cut out gluten, which I saw straight away had the most impact, I think, on my health. Wow. I cut out the gluten, and she told me to eat organically and to cut out processed foods.
Wow.
I think it's between the processed foods and the gluten that I saw the biggest change.
So how long did it take you to clear your symptoms?
I was diagnosed on the 19th of October 2013, and I went back on the 25th of March 2014, and the endometriosis cyst, which was 6 centimetres, went down to 0.75 millimetres.
That's amazing.
So it's literally like nothing. And that was the one that I bled into, which they said they couldn't operate. So that one was the one that I was actually worried about because it was hemorrhagic. And, it's something that it's quite dangerous to have, hemorrhagic cyst inside you, but they couldn't operate on it. So that was the one that I was more worried about. And to be honest, because my period stopped, and as soon as I changed them with the gluten, they came back. They were regular. They were more, more like red, proper periods. And the PCOS, the volume of the PCOS was 80.4 milliliters, and it went down to 15.5 milliliters. So it's like reduced by 65 milliliters, which, I mean, straight away, my stomach just went flat because, you can imagine having a 6 centimeter cyst inside you. I just looked in the mirror thinking that I was pregnant. It was quite big and it was quite heavy. And I think that's where I was depressed and always feeling down, lethargic, no energy. And literally after I started to, change the gluten and to change to, organic food, I saw a difference.
Tete, so obviously you went back to the doctors and then they examined you again and realised that this polycystic ovary, this cyst, had actually decreased in size. Did they ask you what you'd done to achieve that, or were they surprised at all?
Well, Jess, I got in there, I was early for my appointment. I got in there at 3 minutes to 2 and I was out by 2 o'clock. She didn't want to hear anything.
Wow.
I started to talk to her about, about my diet, and I said to her that I was on the herbs, and she was just like, at the end of the day, these things happen. And she didn't really want me in there. I literally had the scan. She told me that it was gone, and that was it. And she just gave me a couple of leaflets on polycystic ovary.
No.
I was out of the consultation, like literally a few minutes after the actual consultation.
That's really disturbing because, it's like, right, okay, doctors are being presented with a lot of cases now where people are curing up their conditions, be it whatever it is, right? And they're just not in. From what I've heard of people that have told me these kind of things before, they don't really seem to be interested in hearing about natural. People that have cured themselves naturally. They don't want to hear it because obviously for whatever obvious reasons.
Well, it's kind of a thing where they think that natural stuff doesn't work. That natural products aren't going to work. They believe that it's only temporarily, a bit like how the medicines are, but they don't realise actually you can cure yourself naturally.
Yeah, because it's getting to the root cause and not treating the symptom. It's like, Clive de Call taught me this: if you get inflammation, if you get an inflammation, right, you go to the doctors with inflammation. And what's the first thing they do? They give you anti-inflammatory tablets. Well, inflammation is your body's way of actually healing itself. So, and it's also a symptom. It's your body talking to you and saying, "There's a problem here. I've got a deficiency."
Exactly.
So it makes
if you're taking
perfect sense.
something to hide that symptom, that's like nothing you could do, and. The things that they give us, like anti-inflammatories, just ruin our gut lining anyway. And your gut is like, your immune system.
That's it.
So it kind of doesn't really make sense. I mean, when I went back to my GP to see if I was ovulating, because straight after that I went to go and see if I was ovulating, and my ovulation like more than doubled, more than tripled. Wow. It was like 26. Like, she said to me, I'm ovulating absolutely fine. And she was more, I talked to her more because she knew about my polycystic ovary syndrome. And she said to me, her words were, I'm not allowed to, as an NHS doctor, agree with you on that. But she said to me, if I had polycystic ovary syndrome, I would go the natural way myself.
Wow, that's the proof in the pudding itself.
That's it, because they're not allowed to say that these things work. They're not allowed to do it,
Because it jeopardised their career as well at the same time. But Tete, what advice would you give to somebody who is suffering with what you had? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say to them, and the best thing to do, because the thing about naturopathic nutrition and herbal medicine, I like it. The reason why I'm studying it is because it's holistic, and the holistic approach is, looking at everything that's going on in your life. Like, I didn't like the fact that I went to the doctors and they would, they didn't ask me like how I was feeling, any stress levels. And my advice, I'd say to someone, is to try and look up like some herbs as well as like the naturopathic nutrition, because they work hand in hand. And just try and like look at the stress levels, everything in your life. Because I do think it was a little bit of stress that the reason why I had the polycystic ovary syndrome. And I would just say to cut out the gluten, cut out processed food, and just stick to organic foods and fresh vegetables, and cut out hormones, meaning like tap water. I just drink filtered water now, and I think that was the main thing that got rid of my polycystic ovary syndrome.
So basically, and essentially what you've done, right, to cure this is you've detoxed. You've got all the free radicals out of your body that is coming from, you know, all the pesticides, all the canned food, the processed foods, and then on top of that, you have given back your body and more, because obviously the supplements, the magnesium and whatever else you're taking, you've given your body those nutrients to support itself. So basically, that is really what you've done, isn't it?
Yeah, well, basically, that's what I've done. It's my hormones, by getting rid of all the hormones, all the toxins in, you know, in water, in organic food, in processed food. Literally got rid of those, got all the toxins out. So, to be honest, I haven't actually really done much. I've just literally gotten rid of everything bad in, you know, that I usually used to eat. And I think that's it's quite simple, like the way we should be eating all the time. You know, filter your water. You know, tap water's full of, like, you know, estrogens. It's full of, you know, hormones, herbicides, pesticides. So that is something. And to support yourself, I would say some herbs, some really good herbs, and something to support your gut, a good probiotic, magnesium, fish oil, and, you know, some primrose oil. That's what I was taking. I think that helps to balance all my hormones as well.
What type of herbs would you recommend?
Well, I had 2 tinctures from my college. One of them was with Vitex in it. Vitex is like I don't know all the translations in, because they're all written in Latin.
Oh, okay.
But they're basically, one of them had artichoke, dandelion leaf, and that basically helped to clean my liver, because I was on the pill last year, and it just helped to get rid of, like, you know, all the toxins in my liver and the antibiotics that I took. And then the other tincture was the Vitex, which is particularly for female hormones.
Okay.
That's amazing.
And that helped to clear out my, you know, the hormones. Because before, you know, I just saw the difference straight away. I was getting hot flushes. I was hot all the time. It was horrible. And now, as I've, like, got rid of all the toxins, I'm more in tune with my body. I can just tell when something's not right. So yeah, that's the advice that I would give.
So, you know, you said that you went to a herbal doctor. Who did you go to see?
That was through my college. I went to see a lady called a third-year student in my college.
Okay. Interesting.
That's amazing. Right, I just wanted to know, actually, right, so obviously we know how this has affected your body, or not affected your body, but it helped your body, you know, having this new lifestyle. But did you notice that you were any more calm or less stressed taking on these nutrients and supplements?
Yeah, well, basically, I know my stress levels, you know, when I went to my consultation, the main thing that the nutritionist said to me is, you know, how are your stress levels and how do you deal with your stress? You know, she said to me, first of all, she said, I can tell by looking at you that you're stressed, you're worried that you're not going to have a child. I assure you, everything's going to be fine, but try and make it, like, not be stressed as possible. And it's quite easy to say to somebody, be stressed out, but I think that is the most important thing, to not stress. And that's what I did. I just tried to think about it and just listen to what she said, and everything she wrote down, I just did it. I did a bit of yoga as well, meditation, which I think helped me a lot, because it just clears your mind. And yeah, that's how I dealt with the stress, just doing the yoga.
They say that. Sorry, I was going to say, they say that we all have, like, a monkey mind, and with yoga it calms the monkey mind down. So I definitely agree that yoga is very healing. 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely. The yoga just helps with my mood, like, you know, because my sleeping patterns as well were really bad before. I was waking up to use the toilet in the night, and as soon as I started doing the yoga and, you know, exercise, because I used to exercise a lot before anyway. It wasn't nothing to do with the exercise, but I think it was just the stress and worrying, stuff like that. Doing the yoga helps me to just be a bit more calm, but I found I was in a bit more of a happy mood. And sometimes, as soon as I started following what I needed, I just forgot about it all. And then, you know, the next thing you know, it was my appointment, and they told me that the polycystic, that they'd gone. So.
Have you managed to see a difference in your memory? Is your memory a lot more stronger, a lot more sharper?
Yes, I'd say yeah, my diet like totally changed. To be honest, it was drastic, and I think that's why I saw such a difference straight away. I was so determined. But yeah, I've just found my energy levels just so much better. And I don't like when I eat something bad, I feel tired straight away.
Really?
So I know I don't want to go down that route again. And because I've changed so much naturally, when I saw the results from the ultrasound, it made me more determined to like not go down the route of having bad treats. You know, at first I was a bit, because I can't have this and I can't eat this cake and I can't have that. And to be honest, I did have the odd slice of cake, you know, during the time. But I'm just a little more alert. Studying is so much better, and you know, my periods are so much better. So it's just
Brilliant.
Wow.
it definitely made me more alert. Memory. I think the memory probably because I was taking the advice to take sardines, take like a flaxseed, fish oils, and I've been eating more mackerel, which I've never eaten before.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's probably why it helps with my memory.
Yeah, the fish oils are good. There was something that you were saying there that made me think of something, and I've forgotten myself now. But honestly, Tete, this is absolutely amazing. I mean, this must have changed your whole life. I mean, how has your life in general changed since all of this? Like, what's new? Like, sort of, have you got a sort of a new goal in life that you didn't have before, maybe?
What? Sorry, a new what?
A new goal, like any new sort of ambitions that you've developed since taking on this healthy lifestyle?
Well, it's just the fact that I've been able to. I think the most important thing about what's happened to me is on pen and paper. My mum and dad have actually seen they've seen the scan from the doctor, and they've seen that I've literally done that by myself. I think that's been the most important thing. Had all turned to like herbal medicine now. That my dad had a consultation because he's had a chronic cough, and he's been going to my student clinic at my college. And I think that's the biggest thing, to be able to show my parents and my sisters, like, you know, on paper. That's been the biggest thing for me. I think and really determined that what I'm doing is the route that I want to go down.
That's amazing.
And you know, it's because, you know, when you cure yourself naturally, it's quite a big to see that you've done it yourself. And I think, you know, mind over matter as well. But it's just given me like a big boost in life. And I know straight away when I have something in my diet that isn't right, I can just feel it in my body straight away. I think the biggest thing is that I'm in tune with my body.
Yes.
So when I have something bad, I can feel it straight away. Like, you know it straight away, and you know. And you feel good that your body can tell you, no, that's not right. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I'm so happy that my body can tell me straight away that it doesn't like something, you know, because before I probably didn't know it was bad, you know, bad toxic things in my body at all. But I think the total cleanse I've had has made me, you know, see what's right and what's wrong, and my body will just tell me straight away.
That's the brilliant thing about doing these detoxes, because it does like put you back in touch with, like, you know, anything that you put bad in your body after you do a detox, you can tell if your body doesn't like it or not. It's a brilliant way actually of getting to know your body. But
you know your body, I really know my body now.
It's really inspirational, your story, Tete. I mean, when you wrote an article about to tell your story actually for the Gathering of Minds website, and I've got to say it was one of the most popular articles that we've had to date.
Was it?
And it was so popular that I actually included it in the newsletter, because I realised the reason it was so popular is because there's actually a lot of women out there who have this condition, polycystic ovaries and endometriosis, and they're maybe at a loss. So, you know, it was a popular article for a reason, and I think it's very, very inspirational what you've done. And, you know, I think it's amazing, and you must meet people all the time that you're giving advice to about this, do you?
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm really quite passionate about this, because I think a lot of people just accept it. You know, I've read so many articles, and I've seen a lot of people, women, just accept it. Like, you know, I've got PCOS and that's it. It's just like, no, you know, and you can do something about it. So, yeah.
Would you say that the problem is to do with our diets? Like, so from a young age, we don't really learn properly how to eat when we're at school?
Yeah, I'd say the problem is I think it's education on food, because when I first found out about, you know, the PCOS, I still didn't really understand, you know, about sort of a month afterwards, and I didn't realise, a lot of people don't realise that, like, okay, yeah, you can cut out gluten, but it's not just about gluten, it's about sugar, and it's about, you know, where your food is coming from, which is what can cause hormonal imbalances. So for me, I didn't realise that, like, I thought eating loads of vegetables from, like, was healthy. You know, I didn't understand it's about where you're getting your vegetables from. And I never ever really thought about the link between hormones in and pesticides in vegetables and how it's your body. And I think that's the biggest thing. And I didn't even think about water as well. I never like batted an eyelid about tap water at all before. Until I started to research about it more. And I think those are the main things. I think, you know, stuff like meat and stuff like that, I think that's well, because, you know, you're looking at, like, you know, antibiotics on a big scale and stuff like that, and people don't even bat an eyelid about, you know, what are in their meat, fish as well, you know, and it's the biggest thing for me.
Tete, what's your viewpoint on bottled water? Should we be drinking it, or should we be having more filtered water?
Oh, I definitely think that we should be having filtered water, yeah, definitely.
Why is that?
Because, well, with tap water, you're looking at, like, sulfide, aluminium, hormones, which is, like, a big thing. So many things contaminated in our water that, you know, I think that with mental health and, you know, hormonal health as well.
Okay, so
I would recommend to anyone to just filter out their water.
So are you kind of suggesting to stay away from plastic bottled water?
I'd say stay away from plastic bottled water, yeah, because I think I read an article somewhere that bottled water, when it's heated as well, it can poison you.
That's right, yeah, because
I stick to
the plastics from the it's basically if you leave let's say if you're driving your car, right, and you're drinking a bottle of water, and then you just leave your bottle in the car and you go in and do a bit of shopping, and it's a hot day, or it doesn't even need to be a hot day, just warm. What happens is the water warms up and the plastic warms up and the chemicals get washed into the bottle. So yes, you're absolutely right, Tete. That is a big danger with bottled water that people do need to be aware of. So it's really good that you just brought that up, actually.
Thank you for that, because I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I used to just buy bottles of Evian. I was thinking I was drinking the best water in the world, buying loads of bottles of Evian, and I don't do that anymore. I think a lot of people waste a lot of money buying bottles of water, and if you just get a good water filter, that's you done for the year, and, you know.
What kind of water filter do you use, Tete?
Sorry?
What kind of water filter do you use?
The Mega Home one.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
Yeah. It's quite expensive, but I think it's worth it. And in the long run, you think about it, you probably spend less money anyway in the year. That's something that you've got for life.
How much was it, that one?
It was 174.
That's not bad though, really, because if people are out there and they're buying bottled water, say if you're going through like a pound of water a day, like and actually, like you're gonna like save that after a while, aren't you? It's a good investment.
I used to spend loads of bottles of water. Same as my mum and dad, they spend loads of bottles of water, and you know, I just use my water filter. And I just, you know, you can use your water filter, and you can use it between two families. You know, if it's a lot of money, you could, you know, I just use my water filter, and you know, I just put it into glass bottles, and there you go.
Wow. No, thank you for that. Because I actually drink bottled water only because I've had acne since I was a young person, and I was on medication. I was on limecycline tablets, but drinking bottled water was better for me than drinking tap water
because of all the chemicals in the tap water. But like she's saying, if you get a good filter,
I'm definitely going to try that. But I've come off my acne tablets anyway, and now I'm on botanical products.
What are you on now?
So I just use botanical products, so they're just vegan products, and I literally tried them, and within 2 days I came off my acne tablets. So being on tablets and like losing my eyesight, I used to have a dry throat all the time, my blood pressure would go down, so I've seen a massive difference. So I do honestly believe that medicines from the pharmaceutical industry don't cure the issue.
But this is it. It's, again, like I said before, it's masking the real issue. It's treating symptom, and then you might get the symptoms to quieten down, so therefore you think you're better. But actually, you've got a whole host of new problems because you've got a body full of toxins and a problem that's underlying, that's still there, that's going to rear its head again. You know. It's not really. It's not. They're not really. You can't really go on medicines, treat yourself on medicines, and then come off medicines expecting to be healthy. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the thing. Like, I mean, one of my friends, she's like obsessed with having a colonic, and you know, she'd always just eat bad food, but then just think, oh, I'll just have a colonic to clean it all out. And that's how I think sometimes. You know, how, like, you know, health is and diseases are treated. You know, you put bad stuff in your body and you think, oh, I'll just take it out. But then you're going to keep putting it back in there and you're going to keep getting ill. And it's you know, that's the way some people think that, you know, how to treat things. And it's, you know, it's not. You know, it's not how to live. You know, you can't keep, you know, masking a problem and getting rid of it. You know, you've got to hit the nail on the head and change your life.
100%. Tete, can you tell me about your Earth Mama page?
Oh, okay. Yeah, basically, it's just a page that I have on Facebook that I wanted to, when I started my course, I wanted to, just for me as well, to have some stuff on my page that inspired me from my lectures and, you know, that I thought would inspire other people. And it's basically just quotes and inspiring sort of like recipes or, you know, just different things that I have, or like new research that I've read from my CAM magazine. I'll put it on my page for other people to read and to, you know, just inspire them about health and to, you know, it's just a little page that I have that, you know, I just have put the little bulletins about health on there.
Brilliant. It's really good to share information and knowledge, especially when you've come out the other side of healing something so big and so common as well. It's so common. I mean, you know, if all the women that have this problem heard this interview, my God, imagine. I know.
Thousands.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I mean, so many people just couldn't believe it when I said it's just totally gone. And so when I told my sister, because my sister has fibroids, and when I told my sister that, when I went to the doctor and I said it's totally gone, she couldn't believe it, and she literally booked herself in straight away to my clinic.
Wow.
So literally, from what I've done, what happened to me, my sister, my dad, my other sister and my mum have all booked themselves in to my college. My dad's chronic cough, he said to me he's totally improved. I looked at my dad the other day and he's totally lost weight.
Oh.
Like, he's so much more healthier. Wow. My mum and dad are on the coconut oil now.
Oh.
You know, they're eating much more healthy. They're eating organic. They've got an allotment and they get their vegetables, you know, organically anyway. But, you know, they're so much more healthier. And I just see a change myself when I go around to their house and look in their cupboards and they've got all the herbs and all the coconut. And so, you know,
that's amazing.
You can see how you can help people. It's like a domino effect, you know. And this is the thing that we all want. You know, I'm sure Jess agrees with me.
Yeah, definitely.
People around you, when you first started this, they were just like, it's like a domino effect of people around you that just get so inspired, and it's just a really nice feeling.
Well, I mean, we're going through a massive awakening, you know, whether you realise it or not, we are. And, you know, it's time now to really start supporting each other and getting this information out there, like really getting it out there. And that is my priority, you know, just getting all this knowledge from all these people that we have on the show and that we come across, me and Gurds, you know, day to day. And just basically, this radio station is people like your voice, do you know what I mean? And like the other guests we've had on, it's a voice to share this information and knowledge. And, you know, I hope that anyone listening to this joins us for our other shows, you know, on every week. We have lots of repeats, so if you can't tune in at the time as well, they can always listen on demand. But we're bringing as much knowledge to help people as we possibly can. And you know, it's amazing to hear somebody who's naturally cured themselves of this. It really, really is. But not just that, like, has actually understanding the mechanics of it, you know, the fact that there's all these things in the water, the hormones, the antibiotics, the whatever it is, that's all disrupting our body from being healthy. And it's amazing, because I think it's important that people understand, you know, an orange might, you know, help you contribute to getting your vitamin C, but it's important to know what the vitamin C does and how it helps. It's important because people don't understand how fruits and vegetables can help cure people. It's not that the fruits and vegetables cure people, it's that you're supporting your body with the right nutrients to cure your deficiency or clear your body from toxins.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is it, Jess. Like, you know, as you said, people just taking vitamin C. I was like that 2 years ago. I'd just get, like, I'd go into Helen's and Barrett and just get the old multivitamin pack and think, yep, that's my vitamins, you know. But when I go shopping and it's shop, I'll look at beetroot, I'll look at kale, and I'll be like, okay, I'll get my magnesium. You know, you just see things in a totally different way to, you know, you previously, you know, see things. Like, I look at, you know, vitamins, and I'm like, right, this is what I need. You know, this is why I need it. Selenium. You know, I'll go and get some nuts, and I'll be like, you know, the most important thing I think, for me, and I think you probably agree, is just understanding your body and know what your body needs. Yeah. And why. Yeah. You know.
I can 100% relate, Tete. I used to work in a pharmacy when I was at university. So imagine a 19-year-old having all these medicines and able to try everything she wanted. I used to try water retention tablets, I tried paracetamol, ibuprofen, you name it. Well. And and I ended up at the age of, when I was working in the city at 24, collapsing because I was taking paracetamol and ibuprofen every other day.
Why were you taking them every other day?
Because I had a lot of chronic headaches, but I didn't know why. It was, again, it was the stress.
Treating the symptom.
Yep. But it wasn't curing it. And I'm actually, my background is I'm a health journalist, and I used to write articles, you know, for large publications, like one day oranges are great for you, one day oranges are bad for you. Yeah. And it really wound me up, and I just wanted people to know, like, that's kind of the reason why me and Yara did set up the show, is to help people to learn that you can find natural ways of curing yourself. You don't need to take medicines. Medicines should be one option, but not your main option.
Exactly, yes.
And the natural ways it's the way forward. I think the problem is people need to realise we, as human beings, back in the olden days, we cured ourselves naturally. Yeah. We didn't have pharmaceutical medicines, so I don't know why we're called alternative healing when really...
Exactly, it's not alternative.
This is what it was a long time ago, yeah. I totally... No, I mean, for me as well, I can't actually believe I'm saying this, but I've not even touched a painkiller since I got diagnosed. And my first period that I had, I was in so much pain, I was just like, how am I going to deal with this? And I was like, no, I'm not going to go and have a painkiller. And, you know, I've been able to deal with my period since then. But before, I'd always have, you know, an ibuprofen on my period, or like if I had a headache, I'd have ibuprofen. And now I actually deal with my headaches. If I get like a bit of a headache, I'll know what type of headache it is. I know if it's a pressure headache or if it's a migraine, and I know why as well. And you know, if it's that bad, I'll take some castor oil or I'll take some magnesium oil and I'll rub it on my back for my period. Or, you know, I'll get some lavender oil and put it on my temples if my headache's that bad. But, you know, I'm able to deal with it better now. And I think this is something that people don't know, that, you know, when you have a period, you just get some castor oil and have a castor oil pack. And the pain will just totally go straight away. Or have a magnesium Epsom salt bath and the pain will go. You know, people forget that, you know, there are natural ways of dealing with pain as well, headaches, you know, so...
But the problem, I think the problem as well, Tete, is that people think natural healing ways is kind of, it's all too good to be true. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, oh, do you believe in that? I'm like, it's not like, it's not a religion or something. They're like, do you believe in stuff like that? You know, it's not a ghost story, it's real. It's funny when, you know, when they ask you, do you believe in it? It's more scientific than you can ever get.
It is, it absolutely is. It is.
But yet they'll follow advertisements on the TV of a particular celebrity shaking her hair and following their products, but won't question what's in those products.
Well, do you know what it is? I'll tell you why it is. I'll tell you exactly why it is. It's because doctors go to university for 5 years or whatever it is, right? So therefore, people put their trust in them. But it's not the doctors. Like, don't get us wrong. I'm not sitting here slagging doctors off at all. I respect doctors that they're doing the best job that they think they can do, right? But
and they want to help.
They're not getting taught about nutrition. They're getting taught about how to be a salesman of pharmaceutical drugs.
Well, that's what they learn at university. It's all pharmaceutical medicines. They're not learning the natural stuff at all.
Yeah. And no, they're not.
I think I'm not.
Well, I think one of my lecturers said to me that doctors, I think they're only given a couple of hours of nutritional.
Yes, one day.
train? It's 1 hour.
One day of nutritional
No.
training. Yeah. One day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's if they're lucky. That's a good course.
And
Wow.
if you go into like a GP and you look at their, the 5 a day or whatever, and you look at the charts, they're from years ago, they've not been updated.
No,
So,
we need a lot more than 5 a day.
Yeah.
Especially now because, the situation with our vegetables. I don't know if a lot of people know this. I have mentioned it on this show before, but basically now, obviously there's a lot of cheap fruit and veg around, right? Do you know how they make it? Where it comes from? It comes from, do you know where they get it? The cheap fruit and veg. They basically grow it in a warehouse under hydroponic light. So this vegetable, the fruit and vegetables don't even see light of day, right? They see an artificial light, right? And then they're not even planted in soil, so you've got exposed roots, sometimes in fiberglass, right? And they spray them. They spray them with, whatever they're spraying them with, plus the...
About 4 nutrients. They
4 nutrients, but there's supposed to be something like 54, 57 in the soil. But there's never that anyway, even in soil now, because of the crop rotation and the pesticides that go into it. So, the fact is, right, our fruit and vegetables are deficient themselves before we even get them. They're deficient, so pests attack them. Pests attack them because obviously they're deficient and the easy, you know what I mean? So then they spray these pesticides on, and it's just a vicious circle. It's a vicious circle, It's
the same with like IBS. Like, I started having IBS problems at the age of 13, and I went to see a specialist who told me to change my diet, took everything out, didn't work, and I actually managed to cure myself of my own IBS at the age of 18 by just changing my diet, how it works for me, not how they told me to do it. And then it got better, then it started again, and I tried all the tablets you can think of behind the pharmacy. That didn't help, that made it worse, got constipated. And then I ended up realising there's certain traditional methods that you can cure your IBS, but recently I've just become a vegetarian and my IBS problems have vanished. I don't have any IBS problems anymore.
Chemicals in the meat.
It's definitely the food, what you eat, and definitely eating organic makes a massive difference. So I agree with you, Tete.
Oh yeah, no, it totally does. Yeah.
Organic way.
You have adverts on TV saying, got indigestion, Papa Rennie. So most people don't realise that the reason for indigestion is because they're sitting there watching TV, or, while they're eating, or, they've got low stomach acid, and, you Papa Rennie, and all your stomach acid, and then you've got a problem.
Yeah, you're treating the symptom, not getting to the cause.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
People need to understand. I think people need to know now, right? Do you know what? I spoke to my friend earlier on, right, on the phone, and I'm not going to mention her name, obviously, but she's had an operation, right, and they've messed it up, right, and she's in a hell of a state now, right. I think it's time for people to start actually realising that doctors don't always get it right, and they're going from what they've been told to learn and regurgitate, right? So but they don't know about nutrients and they don't know about deficiencies. The best kind of doctor you're going to find is a chiropodist, because they're the ones that, or chiropractor, because they're the ones that know the body better than any other doctor. They do more studying on the anatomy than any other doctor. So you know, but the thing is that you can't exactly go into your GP and get a chiropractor. Do you know what I mean? They're not there. But so I would urge people to, if they get diagnosed with something, do your own research and see if there's other people that have cured things naturally out there, because there is people, there absolutely is people.
Yeah, I think holistic and natural is definitely the way forward. I mean, it's probably going to take, operations and, if you want to take painkillers and stuff like that, that will overnight, but that won't cure you for the rest of your life. It's about changing your lifestyle, and I think that's the most important thing.
100%, I agree with you on that. Tete, unfortunately, it is the end of the show, but before we go, is there anything you'd like to say to the listeners? Any type of advice or any tips?
Yeah, I mean, any woman that's, suffering from PCOS, I would say, don't give up. You can do something about it. It's going to take time. I got diagnosed in October. It took, a few months. It took like 3 or 4 months, but I, done it naturally. And there is a way. And, if you were listening to the show, or if you've got the end of the show, just feel free to email me or have a look at my page, or, email us, and I can, give you a total diet plan and give you the best advice that you could ever have. I think it's within yourself as well, but it's determination and just understanding your body and rebalancing and going that way, moving forward of health.
Well, so how can any listeners get in touch with you, Tete? What can you give us a link to your page and your email address, maybe?
Yeah, if you you can email me at feelgoodkarma.co.uk.
Feelgoodkarma.co.uk.
Or tete@hotmail.co.uk.
Tete@hotmail.co.uk.
And what was the name of your page again?
My page, I've got 2 pages on Facebook. One's called Earth Mama, and the other one's Feel. And Earth Mama is just more on herbal health and naturopathic nutrition. And Feel Good Karma is just his positive page, like positive quotes. And
that's
those my
brilliant.
pages, yeah. So feel free to email me or have a look at Twitter, and any advice, any ladies, just feel free to email me. I'm more than happy to spend time giving you all the advice and that I've been given myself, all the wisdom that I've been given. I'm more than happy to pass that on.
That's lovely. Thank you so much. Anyone want to check out Tete's page, you can do that at facebook.com/earth0 as in the number, mama as in MAMA. It's a fantastic page. Do have a look at it, guys and girls. There's some brilliant stuff on there. Thank you so much, Tete, for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. I'm really inspired by what you've said.
Oh, thank you. I'm inspired by this conversation as well. It's been really nice. Thank you so much.
That's lovely. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Stay happy, stay healthy, keep it real.
What an amazing interview with Tete. You know, a woman in her 20s being told that she could potentially never have kids, and being able to change that around, that's absolutely inspiring. You know, somebody in my 20s now, if I was to go through that, God, I would have just gone straight to the doctors.
That's it. I think we're living in very special times where we have this information available to us, because at one time you used to get a verdict or a diagnosis from the doctor, and that was it, you know. But now we have all this information available to us to find out about these things, and it's amazing to have Tete come on the show and spread this knowledge, because I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that maybe know someone with polycystic ovaries or endometriosis, or maybe they have it themselves. So, you know, also if there's anyone listening to the show that has naturally cured themselves, feel free to write in. You can reach us at jess@ourgom.com or
at Gurdeep at ukhealthradio.com, or you can just send us a direct message on Facebook, on our Facebook page, UK Health Radio, or also on Twitter at UK Natural Health. Health with the E is with a 4.
Yes, we'd love to hear your comments and suggestions about the show as well, so please do write in. And
please keep sharing this knowledge and inspiring others that, you know, medicines is not the only option. You can cure yourself naturally. And if any of you guys want any advice or any tips, you're more than welcome to email myself and Jess about any kind of issues that you've got. And if there's any type of illness or other kind of problem that you are not able to fix, please do email us and we will try and find somebody to help you with that.
Yes, absolutely. Until next time, take care.
Goodbye.
Stay happy, stay healthy, keep it real. You can follow us on Twitter at UK Natural Health, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Natural Health Journey.